every single race next year, NASCAR? Every single race you want to use this package? Are you for real though? Like, really you want to use it for every single race next year? This is in regards to another rumor that's floating around. This All-Star Race plate package has really gotten a lot of rumors going around about it. With its whole, which races is it going to be used for? How many races will it be used for? Well, we may have gotten an answer. So on Door Bumper Clear, the podcast for like TJ Majors and Brett Griffin and occasional guests and whatnot, they have some good insight because they are spotters. They work with the teams. They're down in the garages. They know what some of the rumors are. And the latest rumor about this plate package is the worst rumor about the plate package that I've heard for a long, long time. So it was going to be for like 12 or 14 races they were going to use it next season, which is still, that's a lot. Like that's like half the races they're going to use a plate on a car, which in my mind that's too much. That's too much. If they're going to try it, I think they should have tried it like maybe 5 races. That might even be pushing it. But the rumor is that they were having like some meeting about this package and they were going to be voting on it. So basically, I think I'm inferring this, but the vote was who wants this plate package to be used next season for these select races or whatever. And some team owners raised their hands and said, we're not building 2 cars. We're not building 2 different cars, throughout the whole season. We're not going to go to Auto Club, build a car, and then go to Phoenix and build a different car. We're not going to do that. Like it's one package or no package. And in my mind, I think that would be some team owners saying, it's NASCAR wouldn't, give us this package for all 36 races next season. They'd have to be crazy for them to do that, right? Well, NASCAR turns around and says, okay, we'll just use this plate package for all 36 races the next season since you guys can't build 2 cars. Because this kind of goes back to 2007 and 2008. 2007 was obviously the start of the car tomorrow, and it got like a few races of testing that season, then it went full-time in 2008. Well, it was supposed to get 2 seasons of testing in 2007, and it was supposed to get tested in 2008 while they still ran the Gen 4. But team owners said, we can't keep building 2 cars, like it's too expensive or whatever. So the NASCAR went car tomorrow full-time in 2008 because they had already tested it. And that looks like the same thing might happen here. Teams are like, we can't build 2 cars. It's too expensive. It's going to be too much work. So NASCAR says, okay, we'll just give you this plate package the whole time. And it's a horrible idea just because not every race should be that type of race. I wish I could describe this without getting really mad, but this is what I'll say about it. Not every race is going to be the best race ever. And that goes for any sport. Not every game is going to be the best game ever. We see that, in a ton of sports. I could just use some other example. Let's just go and say the NFL, for example. So the whole thing is people are saying that NASCAR is using this package because otherwise people wouldn't want to watch the races because their cars are spread out or whatever. But here's the thing: if a fan tunes in the first race and it's bad, and they never come back, then that's their fault because that's where you give something multiple chances to try it and see if you like it. You don't be like, oh, this one sucks, so it must suck all the time. If you watch 3 or 4 and it still sucks, then maybe it ain't for you. Maybe you just have a different taste, and that's fine. Maybe you want to go try some other sport. But here's the thing. Say I've never watched the NFL, and the first game I watch, someone wins in a 42-0 blowout, right? I could either stop watching there, but not every game is like that. So say that happens, and then the next game I watch, it's a 25-24 thriller classic that will go down in all-time history as one of the best football games ever played. And that was my second game that I watched, and it came down to when the clock hit all zeros. It's not like every race is going to be that excitement that some of the races have had this season. For example, we could use this NASCAR season as an example. If a fan went and watched Chicagoland, that was the best race of the season. They went and watched Daytona, that was another great race of the season. Then Kentucky was after that. If they watched Kentucky and just based off Kentucky, obviously it would make NASCAR look horrible. It's Kentucky. It just got repaved. it's obviously going to be pretty bad. Kentucky's a bad track to begin with, and they repaved it, and it's made it ultra worse. Loudon was great, and then you go to, like, say, you go through all these good races. We had Watkins Glen that was good. Even the second Pocono race was good. Loudon was good. Bristol was good. And then we go to Michigan, and Michigan was horrible. Well, it was bad. But, I mean, like, it's not like it was, I don't know. But we've seen this season, though. This season has honestly been a very, 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 very underrated season. It's come to life, and it could be in contention for the best Gen 6 season that I have witnessed. It's, in my opinion, a lot better than 2015 at this point. It's a lot better than 2013 at this point. It's better than 2017 at this point. It may be on par with 2016 and 2014 at this point. We've had so many good races this season without a plate package being used. Chicagoland, both Bristol races, both Richmond races were good. The second Las Vegas race, we had Loudon that was good. The second Pocono race was good. I mean, I'm losing track. The first Kansas race was underrated. That was a pretty good one. Both Daytona races were pretty good. Texas was decent. Atlanta was decent. Charlotte had great racing back in the pack. I mean, Watkins Glen, I don't know if I mentioned Watkins Glen, but Watkins Glen was a good race this season. Darlington was good. Indianapolis, of all places, was a great race. And now NASCAR wants to use this plate package. And it's just one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just like every package, this package has good races and bad races. It's going to have the occasional bad race. It's going to have some good races. And we've seen that this season. We've seen the lowest of lows races, as in Kentucky in the first Las Vegas race. And we've seen the highest of highs in races. Chicagoland, both Bristol races, Watkins Glen, first Richmond race, Loudon, Indianapolis, second Richmond race, Darlington, Kansas. They were all fantastic races. And that's why I don't get why they want to use this plate package. I understand they're trying to fix the racing and that this trying to just be a quote-unquote Band-Aid, but, like, just wait until you get the next generation of cars out. This is just going to drive more people away. It's going to drive drivers away, first of all, okay? Kevin Harvick has been one of the most outspoken people against it. And in my opinion, if he has enough money and they keep using this All-Star package for a couple of years, he will absolutely leave before it's too late. Kyle Larson will get the hell out. If he doesn't think the driver matters at all anymore, he will get out. Because racing is not, we bunch them all together, they're all equal, whoever gets lucky and doesn't wreck wins. It should be who has the best combo of driver, team, speed, car, all that. If you have all that, you should be able to win this race. And, I mean, it's just not, it wouldn't be fair to some people. Look at the All-Star race, okay? Matt Kenseth started on the pole. Matt fucking Kenseth in the 6th car started on the pole. You know where the 6th car was finishing before that? Even with Kenseth in the car? 20th, 21st, occasional top 15 if he got lucky. It's not like he was out there running top 10, top 5, he would be lucky if he got a top 10 in a normal race. And now he goes out there and sits on the pole because the car is equal to another car. AJ fucking Allmendinger was out there. He won the All-Star Open in a car that shouldn't be up front, and maybe a driver that shouldn't be up front. But he can flat foot the car, so obviously he's going to be doing good. Daniel Suarez, he hasn't really been close at all this season. His closest was Pocono. He only has like 7 top 10s this season. I mean, Suarez is a good driver. He just hasn't been good this season. At the All-Star race, it just popped up out of nowhere that, I'm running second. I think he finished second in that race. Granted, Harvick won the race, but they also had the big crash on the restart. And how many races like that next season are going to be like that, where they have a restart and they crash because they're all bunched together going 3, 4, and 5 wide? Imagine a fucking playoff race. Imagine, say, Kansas with this package, right? A playoff race. Is Kansas the cutoff? I think Kansas is the cutoff. Imagine a cutoff race at Kansas with this package, and we have like a late race restart. They're not going to be able to make it. The truck drivers can't make it this, like, the package they want to use is kind of similar to the truck package. And those drivers can't make it. They're going 3 and 4, 5 wide at Las Vegas, a track which can barely hold 3 cars abreast. And they kept wrecking and wrecking and wrecking. In the Cup race, they didn't even have plates, and they still couldn't control their cars. What makes people think that they're going to be able to control their cars in a pack of 3, 4, and 5 wide racing, where they're inches apart? It's not going to work. And then, on top of that, they're going to slow the cars down to like 175 miles an hour. Why are you slowing cars down on purpose? It's not like, I can understand Daytona and Talladega, that's a safety thing, and that's completely reasonable. But if you're going to do it to try and produce excitement, that's fake. Like, that's like more WWE than the WWE is. Okay? I mean, it's horrible. You're just going to slow the cars down to 175. That's not racing either. Racing's supposed to be whoever has the fastest car win, but no one's going to be fastest if they're all the same speed. I mean, it's pretty BS in my opinion, and I really hope they don't do it. I hope they revert back. I hope Jim France has some sort of sense in him, but obviously he doesn't. If he's still in charge as CEO and they're making this decision, obviously it's not a Brian France fault. It's a whole NASCAR fault, because Jim France, if he was, if he had common sense, he'd be like, we're getting rid of this package, okay? But obviously it's not Jim France making the calls. That, or the France family is a complete pile of shit, because God damn, apparently it's not Brian France's fault, because he's been gone for months now, and they're still making dumb decisions. So, I mean, for all the people that hate on Brian France, maybe it's a whole NASCAR thing, and maybe, Brian France was horrible still, but maybe it's just a whole NASCAR thing. Maybe, maybe if France had some competent people, he'd look half as good as he is. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, Brian France wasn't a great CEO at all. He never, he was horrible for the face of the sport or whatever. But I mean, at this point, the bad decisions probably aren't even his fault at this point. I mean, he represented the sport horribly, but he probably didn't even make any of these decisions, because obviously if they're still going ahead with the thing with this plate package with Jim France as CEO, it's not, I don't know. But the whole thing about this package is they want to use it every single race next season. That includes places like Martinsville, Loudon, Bristol, Richmond, Phoenix. Okay? Just to name a few places which should not have a plate on a race car. Martinsville is always great, no matter what. The race this season wasn't even a great Martinsville race. It was decent at best. And it was still a good race because it's in Martinsville. Even a bad Martinsville race is better than any normal 1.5 mile race. Bristol had the 2 best races this season, and you want to put a plate on that car, or slow it down, or just the package. The 2 best races this season, and you want to adjust that? What is wrong with you? Richmond had 2 good races this season. Once again, you want to adjust it. It's not going to work. You tried the plates at Loudon in 2000. What happened? Jeff Burton let out 300 laps. At Phoenix, that's not going to work because it's a flat racetrack. What is wrong with you? Put some sense in your head. God damn it, man. It annoys me. Like, how about you, do something good for once? Like, get a new generation of car. Don't be working on this package. Work on the new generation car. Put a valance on that car. Like, come on. Start working on that car. Stop with this plate package nonsense. It's BS. You don't need a plate package. We've seen good races. Chicagoland, Vegas, I can name them all this season. About half the races were good this season. Of course that's going to happen. There's going to be bad races, there's going to be good races. It ticks me off that we have to have a plate package to, think that we're doing a good job. We're just going to lose more fans. We're going to lose more drivers. We're going to lose credibility. Imagine people who say NASCAR's just turning left, and going straight now. Imagine what they'll say when you just hold when you just go flat-footed. Okay, people now can say, yeah, well, it's not just going straight and turning left, because they have to play with the gas. They have throttle stuff. They have to brake it. They have to let off. They have to make sure they don't wreck. Well, what are you gonna say when they're just holding the thing on the floor, or they're holding the gas pedal on the floor? That's it is just going straight and turning left. There's nothing special about that. Like, that's just stupid. Like, god dang, man. I mean, it just wasn't. It's not right. Indianapolis was even good. I think the Cup race can compete with the Xfinity race, because watch the end of that Indianapolis Xfinity race. The racing was good during the race, yes. The only reason they had a 4-wide stage finish was because there was a caution which led to a 1-lap shootout. Okay? But look at the end of that race. They stayed single file. No one made a pass, because if you made a pass and you didn't have any help, you feared falling back positions And that's not racing. When you are faster than the car in front of you, you pass no matter what. If you fear making a pass because you fear you're going to lose positions and fall back to ninth in line, that's not racing. That's fake entertainment. I'm sorry, but god dang, I cannot get behind a single race having this plate package next season, except for the All-Star race, because it's a non-points race. Like, holy crap. Like, I hope these rumors aren't true. If they are true, I hope it gets reversed, because it's going to ruin NASCAR. It's going to be, quote unquote, the sound of the nail in the final coffin of NASCAR's hopes of growing into a larger sport. That's my opinion. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Let's hope that we stay with this package, because it's produced some good racing this season. No matter what, it's produced good racing. Even at races that haven't looked good, they've still been pretty good. So it's kind of sad that they're thinking about a plate package for every race next season. Imagine, Martinsville, Bristol. I mean, even Brett Griffin, though, he said they could adjust whatever they want with like the engine horsepower that they go to different places. But I mean, that still sucks. I mean, I can't get behind it. So hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully the plates go away. Hopefully we could just have some real racing for once.